How's it going, guys, and welcome back to Commotion Diecast Race Complex. We have 52 of the world's fastest gold hot ones in the house. We are going to do this first video and whittle these 52 down to 32. I hope you guys are ready. It's going to be a good one. This race will be off the fastest times, so the fastest 32 times will advance. Each car will get one run down each lane, fastest 32, moving on. In lane number 1, we have got Craigster. Lane number 2 will be going up against Puffs Racing. Here we go. Let's run them. Good race. Craigster takes it with a 16:06. Switching lanes. Craigster now in 2, Puffs Racing in 1. Here we go. Craigster lights up on that one, you guys. 16:02 to a 16:13. Up next, lane number 1, Milestone Racing. Lane number 2, the Valvoline of Clay Olson. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Good race, but Clay gets him on the top. 16:03 to a 16:05. Great race. Switch lanes. Clay in lane number 1, Milestone in lane number 2. Let's go. Milestone woke up. Nice. 15:93 to a 16:06. Up next in lane number 1 is Sugar Booty. Lane number 2, another one from Milestone Racing. 442 in lane number 1, Murata in lane number 2. Let's go. Nice battle, guys. Lane number 1 with a 15:97, Sugar Booty. Murata for Milestone in lane number 1, Sugar Booty. Lane number 2 in the 442. Here we go. Run number 2. Oh, Sugar Booty, I had the top end. Great race. 93 to a 16:06. Up next, a pair of Marauders. Lane number 1, Scale Racing Channel. Lane number 2, Diecast Show Customs. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Scale pulls him by half a car. What were the times? 15:89. Nice to 1600. Here we go. Switching lanes. Lane number 1, now Diecast Show Customs. Lane number 2, Mr. Brandon from Scale Racing. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Brandon pulls about the same race. 1590 to 1600. Great race, guys. Up next, lane number 1 is Clay Olson, and lane number 2 is one of 2 entries by Blue Line, the front running Fairmont. Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. Blue Line pulls pretty hard. I'm anxious to see that time. 15:88 to a 16:09. Good race. Switching lanes, Blue Line Fairmont in lane number 1. Lane number 2, Clay Olson in the yellow Murata. Here we go. Good race, guys. Lane number 1 with a 93. Lane number 2 with a 16:01. Up next, lane number 1, Numbskull. Lane number 2 is Mini BFG. And just so you guys are aware, I do check the axles to make sure they're nice and centered before each race. Let's go. Lane number 1, Murata. Lane number 2, the 928. Let's go. Nice run. Lane number 1, 1608. Lane number 2, 1610. Switching up, 928 in lane number 1, Gold Murata in lane number 2. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Nice run. Lane number 1, 1608. Lane number 2, 1613. Up next, the Valvoline T-Bird by Dutch Clutch in lane number 1. And in lane number 2, it is Flip with the 442. Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. Flip with a solid run there. 1591 to 1606. Flip in lane 1. Dutch Clutch in lane 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. 1599 to a 1592. Up next, our only Corvette in the entire race. It is my man Craigster going up against none other than DXP, Diecast Racing. Let's go. Lane number 1, Craigster. Lane number 2, DXP. DX pulls about a half car on him, running a 1592 to 1602. DXP in lane number 1, Craigster in lane number 2. Let's boogie. Solid runs, guys. 1595 to 1603. Up next in the gates in lane number 1 is Arlo Racing. Lane number 2 is Chase Family. Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. Arlo pulls on him a little bit. 1605 to 1618. Switching lanes. Chase Family in lane number 1. Arlo in the front running Fairmont in lane number 2. Here we go. Arlo taking that W with a 16 flat to 1622. Up next, a pair of fast lanes will battle it out. Lane number 1, Victor Fast Lane. Number 2, Dad's Race Team. In 3, 2, 1. Lane number 2 pulls out the W with a 1599 to a 1610. Dad's Race Team now in lane number 1. Victor Fast Lane in lane number 2. Here we go. Lane number 1 takes it, running a 1595 to a 1602. Up next, a pair of yellow Muratas. Lane number 1, DXP Diecast. Lane number 2, Wesley Cole. Let's go, guys. In 3, 2, 1. 1597 for DXP, Wesley Cole with a 1610. Lanes are switched up. Lane number 1, Wesley Cole. Lane number 2, DXP Diecast. Good luck, guys. Let's run them. DXP pulling the W with a 1602 to 1613. Taking the gates in lane number 1, Chase Family Racing. Lane number 2, Diecast Show Customs. In 3, 2, 1. 1594 to a 1613. Advantage for the Murata. Running them back. Lane number 1, Diecast Show Customs. Lane number 2, Chase Family. Good luck, guys. Here we go. Diecast Show Customs running a 16 flat and another 1613 for Chase Family Racing. Oh boy, y'all. It's Rusty Wheeler in lane number 1 with the Pontiac Fiero going up against Arlo in the 928. 3, 2, 1. Arlo stretches him out. Lane number 1 with a 1605 to a 1642. Rusty, I think your wheels are rusty. Lane number 2, Rusty Wheeler. Lane number 1, Arlo. Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. Arlo pulls ahead by a little more than a car, running a 1610 to a 1633. The only red Murata in the race belongs to Wesley Cole, and this is the second out of 3 442 entries for Flip. Let's go. Good luck, fellas, in 3, 2, 1. Flip pulls hard on the top end, 1593 to 1607. Flip now in lane number 1. Wesley in lane number 2. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Lane number 1 again, Flip with a 1595 to a 1609 for Wesley Cole. Captain K lined up with the gold Murata in lane number 1, going up against Bavarian Diecast with the yellow Murata in lane number 2. 3, 2, 1. Bavarian pulls out, running a 1597 to a 1618. Switching lanes, lane number 1, Bavarian, lane number 2, Captain K. Good luck, guys. In 3, 2, 1. Good race. 1597 to 1606, Bavarian Diecast. Lane number 1 belongs to Numbskull. Lane number 2 in the front running Fairmont is Arlo. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Great race, guys. Great race. Lane number 1, 1604 for Numbskull, 1606 for Arlo. Lanes are swapped. Lane number 1, Arlo. Lane number 2 is Numbskull. Good luck, guys. In 3, 2, 1. Another great race. Numbskull taking that one. 1604 to 1606, the exact same race. Good job, guys. Chase family sent in some cool cars. This is the only 300 in the competition, going up against Isaiah's race team in lane number 2. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Isaiah's race team pulls ahead, running a 1598 to a 1613 for Chase family. We are switched at the top and ready to roll. Lane number 1, Isaiah's race team. Lane number 2, Chase family racing. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Isaiah pulls ahead, running a 1598 to a 1612. Good job, guys. Up next, Murata versus front running Fairmont. Lane number 1, Yumi Ree racing, going up against Scale Channel in lane number 2. Here let's run. Good race, guys. Lane number 1, Yumi Ree, running a 1595, Scale Racing with a 1596. Lanes are switched and we're ready to rock. Scale Racing Channel in lane number 1, Yumi Ree in lane number 2. Good luck, guys. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Yumi Ree pulls on the top end, running a 1593 to a 16 flat. Up next in lane number 1, we have got Dutch Clutch going up against another Murata from Yumi Ree Racing. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Yumi Ree pulls ahead, got him by a little over a car, running a 1597 to Dutch Clutch 1632. Back to the top and the lanes are swapped. Lane number 1, Yumi Ree Racing. Lane number 2 is Dutch Clutch. Here we go, y'all. 3, 2, 1. Yumi with a 1606 to a 1626. Up next, we have Numbskull with a yellow Murata in lane number 1, going up against another one from Captain K, the yellow 442. Here we go. Good luck, guys, in 3, 2, 1. Good pull on the top right there. Numbskull, 1593 to a 1604. Lanes are swapped. Lane number 1, now Captain K in the 442, and Numbskull with the yellow Murata in lane number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Numbskull with another 1593 to 1604. Good job, guys. And here we go. Couple 442s locked and loaded. Lane number 1 is Bavarian Diecast. Lane number 2 is the third entry by Flips Racing. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Flip pulls ahead. Both those cars sounded great. 1595 to a 1607. Flip running a 95. Lanes are swapped. Flip in lane number 1. Bavarian in lane number 2. Good luck, guys. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Flip pulls ahead, running another 1595 to 1607. The lanes are smoking today, y'all. Up next and locked in the gates, lane number 1 with the front running Fairmont of Mrs. BFG going up against the Gold Murata. Lane number 2 of Yumi Ree Racing. Here we go. Good luck, guys. In 3, 2, 1. Good race. 1597 for Mrs. BFG, 1599 for Yumi Ree. Lane number 1, Yumi Ree. Lane number 2, Mrs. BFG. Good luck, guys. 3, 2, 1. Mrs. BFG running a 91 to a 99. Great race. Good time, Mrs. BFG. Up next in lane number 1, it is Clay Olson in the front running Fairmont going up against the Turbo 928 of Mr. BFG. Let's run them. Clay pulls out the W on that one, running a 1610 to a 1612. Switch them up, see what they get. Lanes are swapped. Mr. BFG in lane number 1. Clay Olson in the front running Fairmont in lane number 2. In 3, 2, 1. 928 running a 1606 Fairmont with a 1608. This is going to be a good battle, you guys. Lane number 1, DXP Diecast Racing. Lane number 2, this is the second front-running Fairmont for Blue Line. Let's boogie in 3, 2, 1. Blue Line with the top end, DXP running strong too. There we go, 1584 to 1597. Incredible time, 1584. Locked and loaded. Back at the top, lane switch. Lane number 1, Blue Line. Lane number 2, DXP. Here we go, guys. That 84 was a fantabulous time. In 3, 2, 1. Blue Line taking the dub with an 86 to a 92. DXP rolling in. Up next at the gate in lane number 1 is the Gold Murata, piloted by Victor Fastlane. Going up against lane number 2 in the 25 car, this is Diecast Show Customs with the front running Fairmont. Good luck, guys. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Fairmont running a 93 to a 1619. Great time by lane number 1. That 1593 is solid for Diecast Show Customs. Lane number 2, the Gold Murata. Let's step it up. Victor Fastlane. Here we go, guys. In 3, 2, 1. Diecast takes it again. 1598 to a 1616 for Victor. And the last race of round number 1 gives us lane number 1, front running Fairmont from Bavarian Diecast. And lane number 2 coming in from Milestone with the Gold Murata. Good luck, guys. Let's do it. In 3, 2, 1. Ooh, 1591 to 1601. Great run right there by that Gold Murata of Milestone. We are swapped at the top. Lane number 1, Milestone. Lane number 2, Bavarian Diecast. Here we go, y'all. 3, 2, 1. Good run, 1607 to 1596 for Milestone. Let's tally up some scores, see who the top 32 are. I'll be right back.
A few minutes later, I reckon.
What an absolute killer first round, you guys. All 52 of you guys stepped up. It was a really, really good race. Let's take a look at the top 32, shall we? Here we go. Blue Line. Scale at the top 3. 1584 is the fastest time, you guys. I'm going to go up in here and just show y'all the times. Congratulations to everybody moving on. We will see you guys shortly with the top 32 race. Congratulations. And just in case you wanted to see where you landed, if you are not in the top 32, there you go. Congratulations, everybody. Until next time, this is Rob with Commotion Diecast. Keep it below the corn and above the potatoes. We'll see y'all.